Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. So today, couple things to talk about. Um, this is I'm working on my very last order I have in my backlog, so um, that's good. It's a dual stick with overlay support. So I just finished cutting the plastic for it. That's done. So I'm just kind of go through and go through the steps of actually building one up, and then I have a customer up in Canada who has an issue with the keypad. I wanted to do a demonstration of what's going on the keypad. I was looking at my prototype board and I forgot how prototypey it was, so I figured I will kind of demonstrate, even though this is an overlay board, overlay version, there's really not like a huge difference between the overlay. Well, there is a difference because there's a big old hole cut right in the panel right there. But this is an overlay version, and I really wanted to focus on the keypad part of it for now to show what's going on there. I gotta prep these. These are these little 3 buttons for the start, pause, and reset. So these are nice little. I think they was originally for like Arduinos or something like that, and they have these little resistors built in to make them common. But I don't need that. I need them separate. Well, actually, there is a common. This is like a second common. I don't know quite why they did it like that, but basically go through and you crack off the surface mount. Usually you go through and crack off the surface mount. It is not a green right now. I'll use a side cutter instead. Actually, this is a flush cutter, not a side cutter. There's one. So yeah, so I'm hoping to be able to send some instructions and demonstrate. Well, for now, I'm going to start with the keypad version of this, the keypad part of it, so I can show what's going on there. Wow, this batch, this resistor does not want to come off. There's that one. Usually these little surface mounts just give up easy, but not this time. Actually, I have these on order. I have parts for 4 more joysticks right now, 4 more controllers. I got these on order, and I've got like at least 10 more of the other ones on order. Oh, chimney crickets, come on. There's that one. There we go. They're all off. All right. So these are the buttons for start stop, and I didn't even get my joysticks ready yet. I like the whole magic behind this. It's a very magical episode here. The magic is you gotta shear off the backs of these, pull off the wipers. Usually I do this batchy, but I don't really have a lot of orders going through right now, so if I get a big flood, I'll batch it again, but otherwise I just do single piece orders. Make it artisanal. Oh, and if anyone wants, going forward, I can get nice custom, not custom, but variations in colors on this. So on the buttons. Instead of the translucent red, I've got opaque yellow, red, and orange, like an Atari orange, which I actually think looks kind of cool personally. And then after that, you can order, if you order, you can just put in the notes if you want a different color of the fire buttons. So that's not, it's an option if you want it. I don't know. But all right. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to build up just the left side right now so everyone can see. Pause just a moment. Okay, so through the magic of hitting the pause button. So these are the default. They're like a translucent red with a touch of orange. And then I have this nice opaque orange, which is, I've actually made a controller before using this. Kind of cool. It looks really Atari-ish. Red, yellow, cool translucent purple, and I've actually sold another system. It was very sweet. Gentleman bought a player 2 for his wife, so gave her the blue ones. So player 1 is red and player 2 is blue. But if you want to order, and if you want to like do something wild like red on one side, blue on the other, that's fine with me too, or whatever color combo you want to do. Yeah. But yeah, that's an option now to do. So getting back to this controller I'm working on here. I still got one more to yank off here. And so I think I've got like at least 10 joysticks coming in and more of the keypads. So the other thing I wanted to announce was I have a former work colleague. We both worked at the same place. So like I said, I have a former work colleague who was just laid off from the same job I was laid off from 2 years ago. So back then they laid off about over 20% of the workforce, and I was part of that 20%. And then they had another round of layoffs last year, and they had a really big round of 40% layoffs this year, like a couple weeks ago. So ironically enough, he has been selling, refurbishing PlayStation 1, 2, and 3s for a while as a side business, and he's got a backlog of systems to work through. So as long as we both can make some money, you might be seeing some PlayStations come across my workbench here. So I'm not sure how we're going to do yet. He's been selling eBay, but their fees are a little high, and I've had an e-commerce site around forever now, so a lot less fees. The only fees I really pay for are the PayPal fees, which are not insignificant, by the way. So, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's might be coming soon. Help him out. Luckily, he lives local too. He's a really nice guy, Joe. I've known a lot of good Joes. No secondary meaning there. Just my lab partner in college, he was Joe. And then there's another Joe. So hopefully I can help him out. Because right now, I mean, it's just not making enough money to support his family. And I know he's got a wife and kids and all that stuff. So might as well help out where I can and support the retro community. Because I do like, I mean, to be honest, of all systems I played, I mean, more Sony probably than anything else in terms of like total hours on systems, particularly the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. It's I don't even want to think how many hours I've spent on both of those systems. I had the classic when I bought the PlayStation. I bought it in like the first year I think it came out, It was a big splurge item for me, and left my electric screwdriver to charge. It's a nice thing about the wireless microphone. I can walk around the room without snagging anything. Okay. So, well, most of this need lasers replaced. And it's a little bit of work to get them in and adjusted. And there's different varieties of lasers too, depending on the generation of the system. So that should be interesting. I've really pulled back on fixing old consoles because it's just been, it's very tedious, to be honest with you. Not my favorite thing, especially like Sega consoles. They're just so capacitor heavy. Let's see if I can get most of this mounted up here. One thing I have been working on is I'm always improving these controllers. So what I'm gonna try is not lose my mind here. Is I'm actually running low on screws. Simplifying some of the wiring. I'll show you in about a minute or so, maybe a minute or two, all the solder work that goes in on here, and it's been a little bit labor intensive. So I ordered it. It hasn't come in yet. Some screw terminals and crimped IDC cables. Because I use IDC cables anyway, which are these flat ribbon cables here. Those are IDC cables, and but there's just so much solder work that's going on, and I had to buy a solder pot, and it's just it's a lot of labor. So if I could switch over to crimped and screw terminals, it'll save a lot of time when it comes to doing the final assembly. This part actually doesn't take, I mean, I've been yakking away and it's only 12 minutes into it right now, and I've had a couple interruptions. Switch to number 1 bit instead. It gets us in there. I don't remember exactly what they call the style of screw, but anyway. So just a minute, we'll get these mounted up, and I'll show the keypad section of it. Make sure that's nice and centered. I do have some ideas on some future controllers. When I think I'm gonna cut next. Now that after this, I'll have some time. It'll be I want to make an anadigital. So the left stick will be the same analog stick, but the right stick will be a classic digital stick. And the reason why is I like playing Pac-Man. Playing Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man using a analog stick sucks. So I want to create a nice digital version. So it'll automatically, both will be active at the same time. So at the same time, so what it will be is if you want to start playing digital, just go over to the right joystick, and if you want to go back to analog, just grab the left analog stick. So that is something I want to try next. Man, I grabbed my prototype of the controller, my very first one I made back in early January of this year. It's late June right now. I can't believe how long it's come along. Where's it at? I think it's sad and on the floor down there. But I'll show you once I get this built, the differences between the version 0 and this. All right, so keypad wise, that was annoying. So the version my Canadian friend uses this telephone style keypad, and this happens to be an overlay version. And I don't even know if I have any overlays made up. Darn it. So the challenge is electrically these are different. I mean, they both do the same thing. This keypad happens to have the exact correct layout that matches the original 5200 controller. This one, the horizontal spacing is good, but the vertical is a little off. You can see that. I mean, it's close, but this happens to be like dead on compared to the original overlay. So if you put the overlay on here, everything lines up perfectly. So some people prefer having overlays, some people don't care about overlays, and they prefer more of a tactile, especially if they're playing games like Frogger or whatnot, and they go with this style instead. So the complexity here is the reason I want to eliminate, because it's kind of a pain. Turn my soldering iron on. Because it's kind of a pain, is I need to interface all these little IDC cables into either go direct. Well, on this end, this is the complicated bit right here. This is the board I want to replace. I actually have 15, 14, 28, 29, 30, 31, 34 solder joints on this board alone. So each of those is another opportunity for something to happen. So this is what I want to eliminate. Plus this, believe it or not, this takes about half an hour to build up, or maybe a little bit longer than that. So this is like almost the longest operation of anything. So if I batch stuff, this is what kills me. Is that and cutting the plastic. This takes like an hour, 9 minutes to cut this. You tell I was a manufacturing engineer. So for the particular controller down up in Canada, is Atari calls it, I believe, column 1. I call it column 3. And I'll show you. So if you're going to rework it, the solder joint goes from the ribbon. This cable is the 15 pin cable, and luckily it's the one all the way on the end. It's the brown wire right there, and that brown wire there should have continuity to this IDC cable, and this is the only one that goes from this point here to the controller itself. So when you open it up, what you're going to see is, I'll build up one real quick. I'll rework it afterwards, just fine. One too many. Only use 7 pins out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7 pins out of it. And I use these little, again, there's more labor I want to take out of it. I got one made up right here. This little guy here is yet another little adapter board. And if you're going to be going, this mounts, well, for this version it's actually the opposite way. These pins here are soldered in place here, and then there's the little adapter board. I'll grab a fresh one. Little adapter board here It sits on top of it just like this. That's soldered. This is soldered. And again, this is a very magical. What's on my workbench? Maybe I'll share one thing here. Okay, let me forget how to do this. Come on, OBS. So I'm going to add a window capture and window capture, and I'm going to capture, let's see, there it is. All right, like I said, this is a very magical episode here. Come on, let's see what this looks like on the screen. So there's two versions here. This is actually the numeric keypad version with the phone style, and what we have going on here is, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, probably not. I'm gonna move this out of the way here. Whoa. Fun with videos. Okay, so, okay, now you can see it. All right, I'm gonna pull you up. I'm gonna minimize you. You can see what the heck I'm doing here. All right, so this is the keypad. I believe Atari labeled this column 1. I actually named it column 3. I don't think it really matters in the big scheme of things, but you can see this is, you have switch number 3, switch number 9, sorry, 3, 6, 9, and then finally you have the pound key, and those all go to the brown wire. So a little confusing here. Looking at it from the back side, from the front side of the keypad side, this is on the left and then this is on the right. But when you flip it over, everything is reversed, of course. And this is on the brown is actually going to be third one over, 1, 2, 3. So the easiest fix is going to be jumpering directly from the that pin number. Let me move this up a little bit. Moving from that jumpering from brown, which is going to be a third from the left, looking down onto it, right in the header pin, all the way up to electrically, it's over here. Let me get this out of the way here. All right, I'm going to hide you for now. Can I hide you? I'll send you to the back of the line. Okay, so where's the oh, I'm just gonna remove it for now. Okay, yes. Oh no, I don't want to move bench. That's me. Oh, that's my workbench. This is capture. Let's get rid of that. Yes, window capture. Ah, that's better. So, like I said, looking back on this way, it's going to look like this. And the easiest fix is going to be it's going to be a third one over. It's going to be the brown. This 1, 2, 3 over is brown, and you go over to this cable here and go all the way to the, luckily brown's, that's why I think they used it for number 1, because column 1 is, their column 1's brown, and then a red, orange. So 1, 2, 3 color codes are classic. It's brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, gray, white, black, except for this cable where we have pink and a couple different other colors, but that is going to be the easiest way to do it. So either reheat that solder, first thing I'd try is reheat the solder joints, this guy here, and one at the third one over down here. It's all color coded. It's the only, that brown wire is all the way on the end. There's a second brown wire, but that's used for the joystick itself. So that's going to be the easiest way to do it, is to go just jumper wire from there. Well, you can reheat the solder joint first to make sure there's no bridges or anything like that. But other than that, I just get a piece of wire about 15 centimeters long, maybe, not even that long, and go from that pin down. So that leaves it at that. Time 25 minutes in. Okay, so that's a long video so far. I am going to keep working on this and probably take a photo. Otherwise, I'm just going to send this video link off and everyone else can enjoy it as well and see what's going on. So yeah, again, hopefully this is my last controller I'm building up right now. So if you order now, it'll be a pretty quick turnaround. And I'm going to work on the analog digital version. And then top of that is might be seeing some Sony stuff roll through here to help someone out. So yeah, that is where I'm at now. But yeah, it's going to be the third one over from the left. So like I said, everything gets kind of flipped around. So it's on this side when you flip it around. It's on the other side. But yeah, I think I'll send off the schematic as well to make it a little easier to understand. But yeah, the easiest is going to be hitting that solder joint and going from there and reheat the solder joint, see if that fixes it. Other than that, jumper it all the way across. And if that doesn't work, then I gotta take it back and fix it then, or build up a spare and send it off. So yeah, that's that. And I'm gonna keep working on this one. But I think I've revealed enough trade secrets for one day. But yeah, that's where it's at. And I might end up gutting my prototype controller and just modernize it to the latest and greatest. So that's a good working example of what's going to go forward. So everyone, thank you for watching. I'm going to get back to work, and hopefully if I get some time, I'll show off a new controller in analog digital, and then I'm going to be probably working on some ColecoVision and Intellivision controllers as well, and go on from there. Oh, I'm definitely going to build up an Atari 7800 controller. That one's going to be a piece of cake there. And actually need to, I bought an Atari 7800. I need to repair that and add AV out, and then I will have that for a test system, so I can start building 7800 controllers, which you can use on a 2600. It's the same thing. But everyone, thank you for watching, and hopefully this helps. My Canadian customer, and he can figure out what's going on there. And of course, if not, I warranty all my stuff for a year. So if you ever do have an issue, let me know. And what I like to do is I'll build up a new one. I'll send you the I'll send you a new controller. I'll include a return label with it, and then we can just exchange it, and it'll be added to my refurbished pile. So everyone's always ask why I don't have refurbished, because the refurbished are a lot cheaper. It's like, well, I only have had like 2 returns ever, so I don't have like a lot of refurbished to work with. And anyone, if you want to put down in the comments, I'm thinking of making a slightly less expensive version of this as well, without this keypad here. It'd just be a membrane keypad instead. Oh, that's gonna be, where did you go? Here. I was thinking of doing a version with this membrane style keypad, in keeping with this style generally. And so instead of having these big clicky buttons, it'll be these kind of little dead buttons instead. But I don't think it matters because you're not using that much. I guess they still have some click to them. But yeah, a lower cost version using this, and of course using these, and probably be able to drop the price down a bit and come up with something compared to what I have now. I think these are $129. I mean, I'm thinking it'd still be an analog version, but I could probably knock at least $10 off of it, because these actually are expensive. These are like $8 a piece, and it'd eliminate me putting screws in. I wouldn't have these spacers on here. I mean, these are not, I mean, with shipping, I think they're close to $10 a pop. So these are not cheap. It's actually the most expensive parts of the enclosure. The next most expensive part's the joystick. Third most expensive, actually, these kind of rival each other price-wise. So next most expensive parts are these two, and then buttons are not that much. And these keypads don't cost much either. Even the telephone style is not terribly expensive. If I can get the labor out with the new screw terminals and the crimp connectors, I could probably drop the price of everything probably another $10 just because it just pulls the labor out of it. So I'll still come out ahead. Even though that part does cost more, it's still, if I can pull half an hour labor out of this thing, that's a huge difference. So, and then I also have a digital version. I'm not sure if anyone really has. I mean, other people have done digital 5200 controllers. That's why I wanted to try the analog digital one. But that one is probably going to be a bit more expensive because a nice joystick is expensive. It's like $18 for a good joystick, just for the joystick assembly itself. So that one's probably going to come in probably about $150, I would guess, when I figure out the final cost of goods sold in that one. But yeah, and I'm rambling now. Oh, one last thing. My wife actually got me this for Father's Day. It was originally supposed to be for my 50th birthday, but it took forever. This came from Japan. It is a Seiko Transformers Autobot chronograph, and there's only 300 of them made, and I think this is 198 out of it. So it took a while to get from Japan. It's a nice mechanical quartz, cool watch. So turned out real nice calfskin band and everything. So pretty darn nifty. It's got the little Autobot matrix of leadership for the running second hand down there in the bottom, and a little Autobot symbol at 12 o'clock. So pretty cool watch. It's my favorite quartz movement. I usually wear mechanicals, but this one is quartz. And even, you can't quite see it, but there's like a little energon cube on the on the crown. Oh, you can just make it out there. You can see the energon cube on the crown there. So that's kind of cool. So fun little one. Yeah, this took forever. I think we ordered it back in December, and it finally came in about 2 weeks ago. No, not even 2 weeks ago, just before Father's Day. So that's crazy, but it was worth the wait. All right, enough rambling. Hopefully this helps, and I'm gonna get back to building and finish this one off tonight so I can clear out all my orders. Yay! Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.